Hello and welcome to my little bookish corner of the internet. My name's Harriet. Today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free review of The Gilded Ones by Namina Forner. Now this is a YA fantasy novel that I've seen absolutely everywhere online, so I was really excited to pick it up, and it's been on my TBR for many months now, so it was high time that I got to this. Now I'm going to keep this spoiler-free for the most part. I'm not going to mention like character names or anything like that, but I'm going to be talking about a couple of plot points without names, just so you can get an idea of why I gave this the review that I did. So let's get started. Basically, if you didn't know what the story is, we are following a young girl called Decca, and this fantasy world that they live in, basically when they come of a certain age, they are cut on the chest, and if they bleed gold, they are seen as demons and they are destroyed. If they bleed red, then they are completely normal, they are fine, they can kind of get on with their lives. And the world is also being attacked by these things called death shrieks, and they are these really dangerous creatures. Basically, their shrieks can kill you. They make your brain basically just melt and explode. So it's quite a violent story actually. I wasn't expecting it to be as violent as what it is, and it's quite graphic. But it is definitely okay for YA readers, young readers. I'm sure that they can handle a little bit of fake gore now and then. So yeah, now for my thoughts. I think I set my expectations a little bit too high for this one. I haven't read YA in a really long time, and the ones that I have read have been books that I read in my childhood when I was a teenager and younger. So I had that kind of connection with them. This is really the first book that I've read since being an adult that wasn't intended for adults to read. It was aimed at teenagers. So I feel like my experience with it was a little bit different to other books that I've read in the past. And personally for me, it was just full of cliches that I don't like either. There was a girl that didn't see herself how everyone else did. She wasn't like other girls. There is a reason for her being so powerful, but it's still that cliche of she is really powerful from the start. As soon as she knows kind of what she is, she uses that to her advantage, and she's just better than everyone else instantly. You've got enemies to lovers, you've got the good guy turns bad and the bad girl turns good. It's just all really predictable, and I feel really bad for saying that. It is this author's first novel, and I do think for a first novel it is pretty good. I just wish that there was a little bit more of an original concept in there. I do think the story itself is quite original and quite unique, but I just wish it was written in that way. I also found at points that the pacing was a little bit off, so there were sections that felt like a really big slog, and there were other parts that I wish were a little bit longer, like the action scenes and things like that, and maybe a little bit more character development. But there is one character in here that I absolutely loved, and her name is Britta. If you've read this, you know what an absolute angel she is. She is just such a wonderful friend and such a good character, and I actually think that I preferred her to the main character. I felt like she was stronger emotionally, and she was funny, and she was helpful, and she was just really genuine, and I really enjoyed reading about her. But there's not enough of her in here for me to say that this is one of my favourite books ever. Another thing that I really did enjoy was how this kind of talks about feminism and how there's a lot of feminist tropes in here. There's a very big conversation about it, and there's a lot of powerful female characters in here, female leads. But at the same time, it's not just shitting on men, and it's quite like an even ground. And there's also a lot of talk about not underestimating girls and women just because they are that, and how powerful they can be, especially when they band together as a unit. So I did really like that. It's not something that you tend to read in YA fantasy or YA at all, really. So I think that that's going to be a good thing for teenage girls and boys to read about. So yeah, bit of a mixed bag with this one, but overall I did give it a 2-star rating. It wasn't my absolute favourite thing in the world. I didn't absolutely hate it, but I also didn't really enjoy it. There were some things I liked about it, but on the whole, it's something that I won't reread, and I will be gifting this on. So I'll be putting it in a book swap or giving it to someone that I know, because hopefully they will enjoy it a little bit more than I did. Yeah, if you've read this one, let me know down below and let me know what you thought. But that is it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!